What is up, everybody? Clint is in some sort of a dungeon type atmosphere. I don't know what's happening. If you're watching on YouTube, just thoughts and prayers for my man over there. But today we're talking about a three-peat. We're talking about something that has not even been sniffed in the college football playoff era, because back-to-back has never been done in the college football playoff era until now. Georgia's got a legitimate chance to do something that puts them in some serious rarefied air this year. Let's talk about what are the reasons Georgia fans should be optimistic about this three-peat. What gives us hope that this could actually get done today on the Locked On Bulldogs podcast?
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back, Locked On Bulldogs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. LinkedIn, get the candidate you need for your job. More on them in a moment. And Daniel, yes, we are talking about that. We're talking why the three-peat is an actual reality, why Kirby threw that three up there, which I'm still pissed that he did so, because now we're going to have those all year long from every Florida and Alabama fan.
Confidence.
It is confidence, Daniel. So we're going to talk about today why the three-peat is a real, actual, legitimate thing, not just a pie in the sky, maybe hope on
Which
a
is
prayer,
crazy.
fingers crossed, and it's insane.
It's insane. Georgia, the odds-on betting favorite to win the national championship
not
this
just
year.
bravado, not just
This is not just swagger.
we won last year, so
Exactly.
come knock us off. No.
And
No.
that's after losing Jalen Carter, after having as many as 4 first-rounders I've seen mocked it for this University of Georgia
It's
team.
going to hit 4, I'll tell you this
After
right now.
losing program legend Stetson Bennett, Georgia's
football
still
legend.
the favorite. After losing Todd Monken, Georgia's still the favorite to win the national championship this year. So is it a foregone conclusion Georgia's going to win the national championship? Of course it's not. But why should Georgia fans have some legitimate confidence that it's something that we can get done? And we're going to give specific reasons here. We're not going to go with because we're good or, silly, puff out your chest, things like that. So let's get into this first one, Clint. Georgia might win the national championship next year because Kirby Smart still prowls the sidelines. That's reason number one.
Could we please start there?
Let's start there.
Let's think we
take a
understand.
moment.
Take a moment and understand this. The reason that Todd Monken goes and the odds don't really shift. The reason that Glenn Shue is rumored, the odds don't shift. The reason that we have turnover of first-round picks is because, this year's best head football coach in all of college football resides in Athens. And I don't know if you understand anything about college football and coaching or sports in general, but when you have the best head coach, the likelihood Greg Popovich won NBA championships with duct tape and WD-40. Daniel, now, a couple times he had the Twin Towers.
I think they're called Bruce. He's called Bruce Bowen. His name's Bruce Bowen, but you could call him whatever you'd like. It's fine.
Duct tape and WD-40.
Yeah, sure. Manu Ginobili, just not a single hair. I mean, the hairline's way back here.
You put respect on that man's name, Daniel. Okay.
How
Kirby
do we
Smart
get
is
into
there.
the Spurs talk.
He's been there. He's done that. He is that guy. There is no changing that. There is no debating that. And you could tell me again, we've talked about this so many times. Best head coach of all time? Sure, whatever. That's Nick Saban. Best head coach currently? It's Kirby Smart. It's not close.
Not a single person who would debate that. Yeah. Not a single
They're in the comments right now.
Human person would debate that.
Well, lizard people will.
Yep.
That's why. Number one,
Yeah.
Daniel.
That's number one reason. And I'm just going to slide this one in there because it's a part of Kirby Smart's it's part of what he brings to the table, I should say, the recruiting piece with it. So we could make this its own separate one, but I'm just going to kind of slide it in. I think our next 2 points will probably be specifically related to the team, to next year's team. But it's a very talented roster. And that's due to Kirby Smart. Good coaches win, yes. But it takes good players to win as well. And Georgia is losing a heck of a lot of good players. They lose good players every year. But Georgia's still got a lot of good players on this roster, an incredibly deep and incredibly talented roster. Guys that have playing time experience, guys that do not yet have playing time experience that are looking to step up and fill in roles. And so Kirby Smart is by far the number one reason that Georgia fans should be optimistic, because there's 2 more that we're going to get to right after Clint tells you, I suspect, about LinkedIn.
Daniel, you don't have to suspect any longer. Let me tell you about LinkedIn.
Wow. No more living in suspense. You've just told me right out what's about to happen.
It's up
You've
here,
not hidden
it's
it
down there.
You've not hidden it from me at all.
As small business owners of hiring managers, you know that success in 2023 depends all on the team members you surround yourself with. And that's why you need to check out LinkedIn Jobs. With LinkedIn Jobs, you can hire qualified candidates more efficiently by matching job opening roles to people that have the skills, values, and experience to help you achieve your goals. How do you think we found the Sherpa whose goals include not getting fired? That's the only goal that he has.
So
and
far, so good.
He's doing great. He is.
Although, where's he at tonight? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm in a dungeon. I don't know what.
Because I'm out here on LinkedIn Jobs looking for a new Sherpa.
Let's get a new Sherpa. LinkedIn Jobs helps you quickly attract qualified candidates to your opening with targeting tools. It goes beyond the resume data by using insights from your job post, company, and their 875 million member profiles to put the post in front of the most qualified candidates. LinkedIn Jobs makes it easy to screen and rate applicants based on your job qualifications, all in one platform. I'm still finding that mother queen. She out there somewhere, Daniel. I'll tell you what. And LinkedIn's going to be the place that get it for. LinkedIn
Not
Jobs.
A single person has a clue what you're talking about.
LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the quality candidates. Well, one does. You want to talk to faster. Post your jobs for free at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. That's linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. Post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
We've been accused of speaking to an audience of 199 people before. By the way, bonfire.com/store/the199 if you want to check out what's available. Clint out here speaking to an audience of literally one person. That's not how you run a successful podcast, but don't tell Clint that. Don't tell Clint that. He's a veteran, and he's in that phase of podcasting where he just does what he wants and he doesn't really care.
It's the third music album. The first one, you get money. The second one, you prove what you're doing. And the third one, you do whatever you want.
You do whatever you want. That's right. Clint, let's give the people what they want, which is another reason to feel optimistic about this Georgia football team next year. What's reason number 2 that Georgia fans should feel optimistic about back-to-back-to-back?
Because y'all said you can't hold teams to 13 points. And Kirby took that personally.
See, what had happened is I took that personally.
I took that personally. Kirby took it personally. And he's just, done that thing. And guess what? Next year.
Talk to me.
It's going to get nastier.
More nasty.
Now we said that. Okay. Now we said 2 years ago's defense, historic. We understand that. We made pontification that this year's team could have been better, and they could have been.
The team was better.
The team was better. The defense was on par.
The defense minimum. We expected.
They held set.
The nation expected from 2021 to 2022, the nation expected a significant drop-off in defense. I think we expected a small drop-off in the quality of the defense. And what we got was a marginal, at best, drop-off. But really a pretty on-par defense from the previous year. And that is replacing starter after starter after starter. And oh, by the way, one of those very few returning starters that came back, he only played half the season before he went down with injury, and then we had to replace him. That's with a whole reshuffled deck of defenders. But Clint, what's about to happen in 2023?
Let me tell you what's going to happen in 2023. Michael Williams get a whole year over on one side by himself. He's back. What if I were to tell you that you go ahead and run 3 linebackers out there, Daniel?
They
all back. Smile London, he back. JDJ Pops, he back. Maybe the best lockdown corner we've seen since Baker, and I know Keely Ringo out there. Again, he gonna get paid, and he gonna get
about
drafted.
to go first round.
He gonna go first. I get all
it's
of
all
that.
Great,
fantastic. But here's the deal: we may have a better lockdown.
Kamari Lassiter, dude. Now he's just a dog.
Okay, so he a dog, and then we have one of the top, not top freshmen, I mean top period,
Put
returning
him up there
safety.
next to anybody.
Malachi Stark's coming back. I just listed to you every level of the defense.
Yeah. Oh, and you're not even talking about Tyke Smith. You're not even talking about Zion Logue. You're not even talking about Nazir Stackhouse. You're not even talking about just name after name after name of Jalen Walker. You're not talking about guys who just keep coming back year after year. Clint feels so confident about this team. He just turned off the lights, quit the podcast. I don't know if you're listening on audio right now. By the way, thank you so much and subscribe. Leave us a comment. But the YouTube show today is where it's at. This is because I don't know. Like literally, I'm afraid to ask where Clint is. He's not. I know he's not going to be honest with me. He's not going to tell me where he is. But drop a comment down below and just guess. Just speculate. Wild speculation as to where you think my man is. I'll tell you where Georgia's opponents are going to be in 2023, and that is not in the end zone. They're not going to be there.
The number 2 reason Kirby is there, number 2, because other teams won't be able to score points. And I don't know if you understand how
advantageous.
But yes, if you stop them from scoring points and you score points, you win the games, and winning the games is the point, and you get the championship. So that's number 2. We're going to come back, give you number 3 right after Daniel tells you about Built Bar.
Well, Built Bar is the tastiest protein bar on planet Earth, and sometimes you don't know what your day is going to look like. All right? Sometimes things get away from you. You drop the kids off. Sometimes you end up in a dark room. The ceiling is low. You're not sure how you get. And if you didn't just slip a Built Bar in your pocket that morning, you may starve to death down there. Like my man may never get out of there. Built Bar is what you need to keep you going throughout the day. You hit that 2 o'clock lull at the office, reach for a Built Bar. Because let me tell you, if you keep eating them Snickers bars, it's not gonna end well for you.
The glycemic index is very high.
It's not. The diabetes is coming for you, and you need something that's low in sugar, but that's high in things like fiber and protein, things that you want in your body, and that is Built Bar. Every bar made with 100% real chocolate. They've got fruit flavors. They've got nut flavors. They've got chocolate, caramel flavors. They come in chewy varieties. They come in crunchy varieties. All of them available at Built.com. Enter that promo code LOCKEDON15. It gives you 15% off your first order. Built.com. Built Bar is the tastiest protein bar on planet Earth.
All right, number 3 reason that Georgia, we have Kirby Smart. We have the defense that's nastier than this year's defense that will hold people to 13 points because Kirby deems it necessary to do so. Daniel, what is a 3rd reason Georgia may have a great chance at a 3-peat?
3rd reason is simply this. Where are the football games won, Clint? You tell me where football games are won.
Well, I'll tell you where they are won and where Kirby emphasizes and what Kirby loves to recruit and then develop, and that's called the trenches, Daniel.
They are won in the thank you. They're won in the trenches. Now, we already mentioned guys like Zion Logue decided, he said, hashtag unfinished business. He going to run it back again. We already mentioned guys like Nazir Stackhouse, who we expect to be an absolute stud.
What about Bear Alexander?
What about Bear Alexander? We already mentioned this defensive front. Now, let me take you to the offensive side of the ball because people, I'm not sure if you're aware, we had John from John Tweet Sports on last week. People still feeling things about Mike Bobo. The Mike Bobo things have settled down a little bit. But I think one of the most interesting points that's been brought up by you, I believe, Clint, about this Mike Bobo hire is you rattled off some of the offensive linemen that Mike Bobo scored all them points with. when he was coaching in Athens way back when. This offensive line, Clint, is nothing like those offensive lines.
And when you say nothing like it, you're not trying to diminish this year's offensive line. You're not trying to diminish even those offensive line. What you're saying is there is no comparison between the talent we have now.
Someone put a prime Wagyu filet in front of you, and then right next to it, someone put a dirty sock in front of you. They're nothing alike. That's what I'm trying to say. There's not even a similarity. They're not the same species, is what I'm trying to tell you. Because this year's offensive line for Georgia is going to be, to borrow a word from your analysis of the defense, nasty. Cedric Van Pran comes back. We said it was the single biggest decision made about the University of Georgia this offseason, and I stand by that. SVP coming back is huge for this defense. It's huge for whoever plays quarterback, and it's huge for the continuity of the offensive line. But not only him. We've got Amarius Mims. We've got Tate Ratledge, both coming back. We've got plenty of talent on the offensive line. No matter who it is that finds their way into all 5 of those slots, it is going to be an absolutely dominant group up front. And then if you just want to sprinkle on top the running back group that's right behind them, Georgia has the ability this year to control the ball in a way that very few teams in college football have, and to be quite honest, in a way that Georgia hasn't had the ability to do. Now, do I think we're going to see, because some Georgia fans already feel feelings about the Mike Bobo style of offense. I don't think we're going to necessarily see that style of offense. I think we're going to see a continuation of what we've seen in the past. I think we'll see a lot of throw-first offense, especially depending on the play of the quarterback. But I think the ability to control the game, especially in the second half, especially late, the ability to control the line of scrimmage with guys like Kendall Milton, guys like Dejan Edwards, guys like Branson Robinson, guys like Andrew Paul, the ability to control the line of scrimmage this year in the trenches on the offensive side of the ball takes so much pressure off of a unit that is going to be questioned until they prove themselves. Not only did you lose Stetson Bennett, but you lose Todd Monken, the 2 most important offensive pieces. No offense to Brock Bowers. I didn't say most talented offensive pieces.
You said most important.
I said most important. And there's no denying that Todd Monken and Stetson Bennett were the 2 most important offensive pieces. Last year, Georgia lost all of their defense to the NFL draft, and they came back and put that product on the field. The questions this year will not be about the defense, to your point from last segment. They will be about the offense. And until Georgia's offense proves it, they will be the unit that is most scrutinized. But the ability to control the ball takes so much pressure off that unit that it's going to allow them to catch their rhythm and allow them to really get going and figure things out as they go through the season.
That is why you should be optimistic about this three-peat that has actual legs. It is real. Come back tomorrow. We're going to talk about maybe reasons not to be so optimistic about a three-peat. This has been Locked On Bulldogs by Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. We will see y'all then.
See ya.